Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book, Moonshot, The Inside Story of America's Apollo Moon Landings, authored by Alan Shepard, America's first man in space, along with Deke Slayton, one of the original NASA Mercury 7 astronauts, and journalist Jay Barbary, provides a first-hand detailed account of the United States' quest to conquer space, culminating in the successful Apollo moon landings. Through personal anecdotes, technical insights, and narratives of triumph and tragedy, this book vividly brings to life the human side of technological innovation and the indomitable spirit of exploration. It offers readers an unparalleled glimpse into the challenges faced and overcome by NASA and its astronauts, making the seemingly impossible feat of landing a man on the moon a reality. This insightful narrative not only chronicles the pivotal moments of the Apollo missions, but also delves into the personal stories of its astronauts, revealing their courage, ambitions, and the camaraderie that propelled them into the annals of history. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, the genesis of Project Apollo. Project Apollo marked one of the most ambitious undertakings in the history of human exploration, conceived in the context of the Cold War and a direct response to the Soviet Union's early space achievements. This chapter details how political pressure, national pride, and scientific curiosity converged to launch a program aimed at landing Americans on the moon. It explores President John F. Kennedy's pivotal 1961 speech that set the national goal, the initial skepticism within and outside NASA, and the subsequent mobilization of vast resources. Highlighted is the technological innovation spurred by Project Apollo, including the development of the Saturn V rocket and the Apollo spacecraft. The narrative captures the essence of an era where the impossible became possible through sheer determination, extensive planning, and groundbreaking engineering. Secondly, tragedy and triumph. The Apollo 1 disaster. The Apollo 1 disaster in 1967 was a stark reminder of the risks involved in space exploration. This section delves into the events leading up to the tragic fire during a pre-launch test that claimed the lives of astronauts Gus Grissom, Ed White II, and Roger B. Chaffee. It discusses the investigation's findings, which pointed to electrical faults and highly flammable cabin materials, leading to sweeping changes in spacecraft design, safety protocols, and operational procedures. The chapter emphasizes how the Apollo 1 tragedy served as a crucial turning point, reinforcing NASA's commitment to astronaut safety and igniting a collective resolve to succeed in honor of those lost. The aftermath saw a strengthened space program, with enhanced collaboration among engineers, scientists, and astronauts, all working towards a safer, more successful path to the moon. Thirdly, the pinnacle of human achievement. Apollo 11, the Apollo 11 mission, culminating in the first human steps on the moon by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin in July 1969, is showcased as humanity's quintessential leap into the unknown. This chapter provides an account of the meticulous preparations, from the complex navigation and lunar landing practices to the intense physical and psychological training undertaken by the crew. It highlights the technological marvels and the ingenious solutions to unforeseen challenges, paired with personal insights into the astronauts' experiences, fears, and hopes. The narrative transports readers directly into the tension-filled moments of the lunar descent, the historic moonwalk, and the triumphant return to Earth, underlining the mission's profound impact on science, culture, and our understanding of humanity's place in the cosmos. Fourthly, overcoming challenges. The lesser-known Apollo missions. Beyond the headline-grabbing Apollo 11 mission, several other Apollo missions significantly contributed to space exploration and scientific discovery. This chapter covers the missions that followed, including the near-disastrous Apollo 13 mission, which tested NASA's resolve and ingenuity in the face of life-threatening adversity. It also explores the scientific and exploratory achievements of the later missions, such as Apollo 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17, each of which left a unique legacy in terms of lunar research, technological advancements, and deep space exploration. Through detailed narratives, the section discusses the challenges faced, from equipment failures to geological surprises on the lunar surface, and how each mission contributed to a deeper understanding of the moon and space travel. Lastly, the legacy of Apollo and future of space exploration. The Apollo program not only marked a monumental victory in the space race, but also laid the foundation for future space exploration. This closing chapter considers the enduring legacy of Apollo, from technological innovations and scientific discoveries to its influence on culture, education, and geopolitical relations. It also looks ahead to the future, discussing how lessons learned from Apollo are influencing plans for manned missions to Mars and beyond. By illustrating the ripple effects of Apollo's achievements on subsequent space programs, international collaboration, and the commercial space industry, this section reflects on the ongoing quest for knowledge and exploration, emphasizing the continued relevance of the Apollo missions in inspiring generations to dream big and reach for the stars. In conclusion, Moonshot, the inside story of America's Apollo moon landings, is an essential read for history buffs, space enthusiasts, and anyone intrigued by human achievement against seemingly insurmountable odds. It vividly portrays the technical challenges, personal sacrifices, and shared vision that characterized the Apollo program, offering valuable lessons in leadership, teamwork, innovation, and resilience. The book serves as a testament to what humanity can accomplish with vision and collective effort, making it especially relevant in today's complex, technology-driven world. For those looking to understand the essence of exploration, the spirit of perseverance, and the impact of the Apollo missions on both the United States and the wider world, this detailed, engaging narrative provides a compelling insight into one of mankind's greatest adventures. If you would like to support Alan Shepard, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.